Okay, so I'm glad that the black community and the brown community was clocking tea about how the protest went on April 5th. And while I am proud of the protest, the same thing I said on live this morning is what I'm saying today.
Never seems to amaze me. The hatred and bigotry that is always on display towards black individuals in society.
April 5th was the hands-off protest which held on Saturday, and of course the black people came out and talked about them sitting in their house and resting on that day. And it's so good to say that a lot of us did not disappoint. So we are going to be looking at reactions of various black people talking about the protest and what they think about it. So guys, welcome to today's video. If you're new to this space, kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and let's dive right into the video.
Okay, so I'm glad that the black community and the brown community was clocking tea about how the protest went on April 5th. And while I am proud of the protest, the same thing I said on live this morning is what I'm saying today. There was a method and a strategy there. Most people is going to go over their head because we're getting caught up in the hype about how many people showed up to the protest on April 5th and not actually paying attention to the fact that not only was the government not there, but the Zionists weren't there as well. Now, what I'm going to say is probably going to ruffle a few feathers, but guess what? I don't give a fuck because I need to make a point and I need y'all to calm down and get your pennies out of a wad and just hear us out. The reason why we didn't show up is because we were tired, yes. But one of the main reasons why I also found this to be beneficial was because we needed to see how this environment would be, right? If we had showed up, they would have 110% showed up and got violent with y'all. We don't need a reminder of how 2020 went during the Black Lives Matter protests, okay? We know how that went. However, the fact that there was no government officials there was nobody trying to throw hands, there was nobody trying to interfere with the protest, again, that does not take away from the message itself or the success of said protest. Because I'm happy that over 600,000 people showed up. However, what we're not going to do is pretend like we didn't see what we saw over the past year and a half happen to them college students on them campuses in New York, on the highways in California, in several different institutions, and in several public places. We are not going to pretend like we didn't watch them bat the fuck out of them students on the side of the head, pay people to attack these students, and sick dogs on them, hoses and all this shit, right? So knowing that, ask yourself, why would all of a sudden would they not show up? I don't get it. They showed up during Black Lives Matter movement. They showed up for the Mexican protests. Again, they weren't anywhere near as lethal or violent as they were with Black Lives Matter, but the protests with the Mexicans out in the street, they showed up during that. They showed up during our encampments. Why wouldn't they show up today when there's more people here than there was in the past two movements? I'm just confused. That's what you should be asking yourself. It is a strategy to open up the conversation and get us to fight each other and cause further division. It's divide and conquer. Bottom line. Bottom line. Now, the conversation surrounding this, I suggest if y'all don't want to get into a place where we are at each other's throats, which I'm not going to be at nobody's throats because, like I said, I still support Palestine through and through. However, I need y'all to pay attention to the way our government operates because it is indeed methodical and strategic. They don't give a damn about your movement. They don't give a damn about your protesting or anything like that. They needed to make sure that they sent a message and continue to divide and conquer. That was strategic. That was a chess move, and I guarantee you they're sitting back and waiting, counting the moments, the hours. Sorry, I'm cooking while I'm talking. The moments and the hours until we are at each other's throats. Because guess what? If we fighting each other, they got more time to focus on what the hell they doing. And I can guarantee you, with the information that I found about what's going on with the El Salvadorian man and being able to trace the people that caused it to happen all the way back to Israel, it ain't nothing good. I need you to wake up. I need you to pay attention, okay? I need you to pay close attention because the message was not lost. Again, black people didn't show up. So the message was loud and clear. It rang around the globe. It was front and center, and I am happy that it did so well. However, Pay attention, because it's given very much. I'm going to let y'all fight it out and take each other out the game. That's what it's given. That's exactly what it, like they're looking for a reaction out of the black community so that it can literally be everybody else against us. When we choose to stand up and say, wait a minute, you haven't been this lethal with anybody except us. And they're going to try to market it. They're going to pay people to infiltrate those conversations that are going to market themselves as Palestinian or brown. That'll basically start a conversation and conflict saying that we just hating on y'all. When in reality, we're just trying to show you, pay attention. Pay attention. Ask yourself them questions and then go back and look at that situation again. Pay attention. It is a divide and conquer tactic. I promise you they don't care. They purposely did not show up. You mean to tell me that both the government and them racist ass Zionists were busy on the same day? Man, please.
Never seems to amaze me. The hatred and bigotry that is always on display towards black individuals in society. Here we are with the most recent marching and protesting on April 5th. There are people out there now stating that the protesting was done peacefully. It was done the right way. But of course, bigotry has to have a say in it and mention the reason why they were so peaceful is because black people were not there. Isn't that something else? Could you believe bigotry would actually say something like that amongst black individuals in society, deeming us as criminals, stereotypically labeling us as the bad guys in society? Where did they ever get that idea? Do you think that might have been passed down throughout history and something that is ingrained in them and they can't seem to simply evolve past their small thinking? Protests were peaceful because we were not there. No, that's not it. It's because police and the police departments and the judicial system disproportionately goes after black individuals in society. If this protest, and we all know, was at least maybe a half or even a fourth of black individuals that were involved, we would have seen the SWAT team. Hell, we would have seen the National Guard, because we've seen it in history. These things would happen in the past. We would have seen all types of escalation of force to manage the situation, which is a clear acknowledgement that black individuals are treated differently by law enforcement than white individuals. And that's why it seemed like it was peaceful.
The reason why April 5th was such a huge success. We weren't there. We weren't there. The ancestors told us to sit our black asses down, and we sat our black asses down. And you know, our white brothers and sisters and Hispanic brothers and sisters who were out there protesting, they gave us a pass, as they should. But there were no arrests that I heard of. If we was out there, would have been getting our ass kicked from street to street. Shot with rubber bullets, dogs let out, arrests out at the woo-ha, you know. But, you know, it was a success. Time for them to get this country back on track. That's the start, finally.
Hey guys, it's Leash. So it's Monday, and I'm curious to know, those of y'all that attended the protests over the weekend on Saturday, April 5th, how was it for you? And I'm being so sincere because I just want to know how your experience was, if there were a lot of violent things that took place, if you felt like what was done was meaningful, was impactful, you felt empowered. Was there a lot of police presence, right? Were there intimidation tactics that were put upon you all during those protests? I'm really interested to know, because based off what I saw online, everything seemed pretty chill. I didn't see a lot of police presence. I didn't see, anything that would make me think that this was, some type of like dangerous situation. So I'm curious to know how it was for you. I am happy to know that so many people did get out in the streets and protest the way they did. There was various different causes and people out protesting. So it was just really cool to see. But like I said, I'm really curious to know, what was it like for you? Um, Myself, I was at home chilling. But yeah, I'm really curious to know, what was it like? And if it was more of a peaceful thing, why can't it always be that way?
Of course, what were you expecting before? They are going to say that the protest was successful because the black people, the brown people they were expecting to be there were not there. If these guys were there, it would have taken a different turn. It's how the black people have been stereotyped to be the people of violence, people that, when things like that are going on, they believe the black people are always the one starting with the looting, the breaking, the fighting, anything you can think about that goes on during a protest. It is so stereotyped to the black people. And of course, we were not there this time. Did we see the police people around? The cops were not driving around. They were not stopping people from moving or something. There were no martial laws and martial fights with the protesters. For me, my joy, my happiness is that we are not talking about justice for any black person that probably must have lost his or her lives or assaulted by the police people or by the policemen this time around. So everybody's going to be fine. Everybody's going to be all right. I like the fact that the black people are saying this is resting period for them. This is not our battle. We fought the battles and it's time for us to take a break this time. So, guys, what are your thoughts about the protests? As a black person, were you out there? Did you protest, or you were just sitting on your bed, or you went around your own business? So, guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you've watched up to this point, kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.